Welcome to the farm.
Welcome back to the farm. I'm Justin, and today I had some big plans on what I was going to do today. I was all excited about it. I was going to get up early, get the tractor fired up. I was going to move chicken coops, get them on fresh grass because the grass is finally starting to grow, and they haven't been moved since fall, so it'd be just good to get them moved. And then I was going to start getting some implements out of my implement shed, and maybe do some driveway grading or cultivate some garden patches or whatever. But I don't know if you can tell behind me, it's kind of cold, cloudy, and raining a little bit, so that's out the window. So I thought what we do instead today is we're gonna work back in the barn again on the rock bucket and see how far we can get on that. So I'm gonna get the gator here pulled out, throw a tarp over it just so it kind of stays dry, and see what we can get into. Gator's all covered up. Let's go get to work. So in the last video on my rock bucket build, I ended with welding up and finished with welding up the first one of my slats for my bucket. And I kept working after that, so I got actually all of my slats welded up, and even got a bunch of them ground down. So here's what they look like welded. I'm pretty happy with how the welds are. I had a few that had some porosity in them, but nothing that I would consider major. But I'm pretty happy with how these welds turned out. So I got 3 more left to grind. Here's what they look like when I grind them. Grind them down smooth. I've been doing that with my big 7-inch grinder here, just to try to knock them out quickly. And then after I did that, I hit them with a flap wheel, and that's what I ended up with. And I don't see any lines where my welds were or anything like that. I can see, I don't know if you can see in here, there's a little bit of pock marking from the porosity. But yeah, then I just go over it with this guy, smooth it out, and I'm really happy with how that finish turned out. Is it necessary for me to do that? Not even a little, but I just want it to look nice. So I spent a little time cleaning them up, and I got 3 more to grind, and then I got, what is it, 15 more to hit with the flap wheel. So that's what I'm going to start off with today. All right, let's make some sparks. So here we go. That's the piece right there. Real time, it took me about 2 minutes to do both sides to grind them and flap them. So it's not a lot of time. That's why I'm doing it. I think it's gonna give me a nicer finished product. So I'm gonna go ahead, knock off these other 3, flap the other ones I had to flap, and I will be back when I'm done with that. And with that, grinding is done. So now that I got all 19 of my slats ready to go, we're ready to actually start assembling the slats to the top edge and cutting edge. And I have a little confession. I'm excited, but I'm also a little nervous about this part because I don't really have a plan on how I'm gonna make this work. So we're just gonna kind of throw some magnets up on it and see if we can't get this stuff straight and square and start tacking things together. Let's see how it goes. So my plan is I got two magnets holding this corner in, and I'm gonna take my square here and make sure I got this kind of square, which doesn't look too bad. I can live with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn a few tacks in here just to hold this together. Then I'll do the same thing on the other corner. And then I'll probably flip this up, put the cutting edge on, so I have my 2 outside ones and my cutting edge together so that these are all kind of rigid, and then I'll start filling in and building my spacers in between. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and get this flipped over so I can get my cutting edge on. So I think it actually worked pretty well. It seems pretty solid for being tacked in. I messed up a little bit on the front here. I didn't get it quite flush with my cutting edge, but I think that'll be okay. And I got the other side on now. So the next step is to start putting in my 3-inch spacers, tacking those together, and start getting all my slats in between. And I'm not sure if I messed this up or not by pre-cutting this. Because this might not be the overall distance once I get all my spacers and stuff in. But I think what will end up happening is once I get to the end here, if my spacer's not the right size, I'll just cut 2 more to fit, even if it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch or whatever off. I'll just cut that to fit and it'll be what it is. But it is so exciting to see it up like this. I can't wait to start seeing all the little slats inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up and get the next one in line. So my plan is to just kind of measure back halfway. I'm at 22, so 11 inches. Same thing here. Come down 11 inches. Draw a mark across. Same thing here. And that is where I'm going to weld my slats. And my plan is just to tack everything together, make sure it all fits and works, and at the very end I'll weld it all together. Okay. Spacer right there. There we go. I'll tack those in. So now I should be able to take my next one and tap it right in up against that. I should be able to just keep working my way down, just add in like that. Oh, I love it. So I'm about halfway through. I got 8 more slats to weld in. I got 8 of them in. Wasn't sure what to expect when starting this part or this process. Really didn't have a plan or know what I was going to do. I was hoping that these spacers in between here were going to be enough to space everything apart. And I feel like I should have measured each one of these two and each one of the bottom part here out and made marks at 3 inches just so I could line everything up. And the other thing I'm kind of disappointed about is my slats. They're not, I don't know if you can tell, but they're not overtly straight and level. I was hoping those would turn out a little bit better, and I may end up cutting those out and re-welding them in. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna keep going, get the rest of my slats in, see how this turns out. I will get back to welding. I'll catch up with you when I got a little more done. All right, so here's the situation. I tried to put a couple more on the bucket, and it's just it's not lining up and not working out right. You can see here, this one is completely square with the top, and you can see how far apart it is on the top there, and these are all slanted, and all these center sections here are just crooked, and I'm just not happy with it. So I think I'm gonna take all these apart and try again and measure out my distance here on the top and try to relay this out and get this to look better, because I'm not gonna be happy with it the way it is. So it's all part of learning. It's a huge waste of time, but I am definitely learning a lot, and hopefully this next round when I try again, it'll be a lot better. Well, I think that's where I'm gonna end this one. Really kind of a disappointment to me, but it is what it is. You know, you learn. So I will probably end with just a clip of me taking this thing apart a little bit. If you enjoyed watching me make a mistake and learn a lesson, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It would help our channel out a lot. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.